Can you hear me now? Hello, Tiffany. Let me make sure we can hear me now. Give me a heart if you guys can hear me, please. You should be able to hear me now. Okay, good. Excellent. Thank you so much.
You can hear me now.
All right. Holy cats. All right. Okay, good. Okay, let me get some stuff out of the way here then. Some bookkeeping, okay? Welcome, folks. If this is your first time here, you're watching the replay, welcome. Thank you for checking this video out. Thank you for checking the channel out. We are having a subscriber giveaway this month during the month of May. If you're a subscriber and you like, and please comment on any video. Every time you comment on a video, you will get an entry into the $100 Amazon gift card giveaway. Okay, that we are going to do June 1st or 2nd, somewhere around there. Also, we do have content creators here on the channel that are with us tonight. Clarence, young Clarence, is a content creator. He's just getting started, so please go to his channel, subscribe. Sage the Brain is also a content creator. Please go to her channel as well and subscribe. For those of you that are in the Atlanta area or can get there, I am going to be there on Friday. I can't believe it's just a couple of days away. Attuning new Reiki practitioners. So if you can make it, go to heartofinspiration.net. It's $147 for the entire weekend. And, you know, we're going to get a little teaching in there. I'm going to help you start your Reiki practice and so on. Okay. I've got that out of the way. Hello, good evening, Gemini love. So I'm hello, April. Anyone I have not yet spoken to, I apologize. And current subscribers, I don't thank you enough. Thank you very much for being with me. So I wanted to come on tonight. I received some text messages, and you know, people have just been kind of talking to me today, and I've been feeling it anyway, about this shift that we are experiencing and are about to experience as we come into this full moon this weekend. We talked about the full moon itself and all of the ramifications, or some of the significances of it. And I touched, that was a few days, maybe it's last week. Please go back and check that out on this channel. The full moon and Scorpio video. But I believe we can all agree, those of us that are at any way, shape, form, or fashion aware and open, that there's a shift, another one. I've talked about this a lot. So if it's your first time hearing, your first time viewing one of these videos of mine, we are going to go through a series of very strong energetic shifts throughout the entirety of 2019. Just when we get done with one, we'll be going into another. We have to get accustomed to moving at the speed of spirit, at the speed of love and light, at the speed of other dimensions, because there is too much to get done in this world, on this dimensional plane. And now is the time that those of us who are walking in love and light, and those of us who are awakened in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or are becoming awakened, it is time for us now to take our places. It is time for us to learn to operate metaphysically in a greater fashion. This is why I'm sure some of you have noticed all of a sudden there are certain things that are happening. Like, all of a sudden there are certain gifts that you now have that you may not have had before. Maybe before you were not clairaudient and all of a sudden you can hear. Maybe before you were not clairvoyant and all of a sudden you know and you see. Maybe before you didn't really hear from the spirit realm, but now all of a sudden mediumship seems to be your cup of tea. If you notice that there are certain things that you think or whatnot, Heather, can you text or message Raina and ask her if she's got time to come to the live? You'll notice these things. Hello, Mary. You will notice that it seems like lessons that have to be learned are coming up a lot quicker and a lot more intensely. If there have been areas of your life that you have been like, I really didn't want to deal with that, or I thought I already dealt with that a while ago, and all of a sudden it's right back in your face, and it's here right now, and it's not going anywhere. All of these things you're going to start noticing happening in a greater way. Also, if you are noticing that it's like you have something you have to say, but you don't even know how to say it. If you have something you have to say, but you don't quite know how to say it. And you just have this feeling. We talked on the other night about that this season is all about the purge. This is a purging season. And we talked about purging relationships that are no longer serving you. And we talked about how uncomfortable that can be. And we talked about perhaps you're going to have a physical purge as well. Now, we do this from time to time anyway. Okay? Every once in a while, cyclically, there comes a time we have to shed our skin, right? We have to shed the things around us. There's always this happens. But this one's different. Very different. And I feel that this one, considering it's Taurus season, considering this is dealing with deep emotions, deep relationships, deep feelings surrounding everything in our lives, whilst we have Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto all in retrograde, while Mars is on the precipice of Cancer. Everything is beginning to align to say to me that this is also the time where we are getting a greater ability to control our mind. So I call this the mind control shift. Because when you can strip away the emotions surrounding a situation, a person, an event, a memory, when you can strip away those emotions, what is left? Logic. Reality. When you can strip away, so, for instance, if someone says something to offend you, people say things to offend me sometimes. When someone says something that offends you, you have the moment. Hello, Ms. Raina. You have an option at that moment when those words are spoken and they come across your ears. You have an option, a choice. You can either get offended and get in your feelings about it, or you can look at it and say, why does that even offend me? Why is this energy coming into emotion, and causing me to then do certain other things? If you get angry about something, if you think about it, think about the last thing you may have gotten angry about. It caused you to do certain things. It caused you to go on a certain path. That path that it caused you to go on was a program that has already been put into your brain, that it either was put in there as a child. Usually, a lot of times it's in there in the womb. right? We get baked in this kind of toxic, sometimes toxic mix. So you replay, you go through your mind and you find the program befitting of the offense. They called you out of your name. Now for me, you could call me a certain word and mean it in a bad way, and then I might gonna feel some type of way. So the program, if someone calls me out of my name, or someone, let's just say someone insults me and basically calls me stupid, that might set me off. There's a whole thought pattern then that goes through my head. Okay? You done call me stupid. And you have completely disregarded everything and invalidated any and all points that I have already made. So now, you know what program runs in my brain? I will find every 25 and 50 cent SAT word that I ever learned in life. And I will string a sentence together, a paragraph together, a veritable soliloquy together, and make you feel as stupid as you just called me. That's the program that's run. That's the program. But that program has been put in my brain from a long time ago. That whenever someone basically insinuates that I'm stupid or talks in a condescending fashion to me or certain things, there's programs that run. There are programs that run in our brain that fit just about every situation that we ever encounter. And if we have not encountered that particular situation at that moment that we're encountering it, our brain then says, wait a minute, I don't know this one okay, this looks like, and it will go back and look through all the other instances where something similar has happened. And it will find the program that best fits the situation. That's the choice that we then make. I'm going to propose to you, though, that the reason why we even grab that program is because an emotion was invoked, an emotional response to an external stimulus invoked and said, kick the program off. Hello, Tanisha. Thank you, Heather. Kick the program off. It's on and popping, as the kids used to say. They don't say that anymore. I still do, but my kids will tell me I'm a little old. It will kick the program and say, this is what we need to do. Because the brain is there to protect us. Remember, beloveds, I've talked about this before and we'll talk about it again. The brain, the whole purpose of our third dimensional brain is it holds so much information and it records information. And it's a supercomputer and it puts it all through this convoluted series of tests and hypotheses. And it says, okay, A, B, C, D, nope, E didn't happen, F, G, yep, okay, and it comes up with a solution. It is there to protect us. So when something occurs that our heart has said, oh, I'm injured, I done got my feelings hurt. Did you hear what they just said to me? Did you see what they just did to me? And now we have to do something. What are we going to do? So the brain says, I've got the idea. Sometimes it comes up with revenge. Sometimes it comes up with really a whole lot of stuff that comes out your mouth that really shouldn't. Sometimes it comes up with, well, just ball up your fist and hit the person. Sometimes it might, it could come up with a whole lot of things. In very extreme times, it'll come up with some extreme measures. It'll be fight or flight. So the brain enacts with the instinct. Remember, the brain is third dimensional. Which of your chakras lives in a third dimensional world? Your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. So your brain is very much connected to your lower chakras. Your brain is connected to the lower chakras. So whenever the brain says to do something, typically it's not asking you to enact your heart chakra. Think about this, beloved. I want you to think about this. I want you to consider this. When someone has wronged you, I'm going somewhere. I can hear y'all. I am going somewhere. Just sit a second. Just sit a spell. It's all gonna make sense. Someone harms you. First thing that comes to your brain is how the heck you gonna get revenge? Typically, when we have not renewed our brain with the washing of the what? The word. When we've not renewed our brain with the washing of the what? The word. Yes, I'm going to quote some biblical verses here. Y'all know that already. What word are we going to renew our brain with? Our word. Our divine word that is in agreement with our higher selves, our higher chakras. However, let me go back where I was. Someone wrongs you. First thing in your mind comes up. Fight or flight comes here and here. It comes here and here. What do I need to do to be safe? How can I get this person, either get this person back, move this person around, do something? How can I correct this? How can I save face? Fight or flight. How can I make myself still look good to everybody else? Fight or flight. How can I save my job? Fight or flight. How can I save my marriage? Fight or flight. How can I save my child? Fight or flight. How can I save this friendship? Fight or flight. How can I beat that girl behind because she done messed with my man? Fight or flight. You understand what I'm saying? You get where I'm going here. This and this. It bypasses this until this is renewed. This is meant to protect us. Our brain, third dimensional brain, is meant to protect us. It records everything that's happened. It records things we don't necessarily consciously know have happened. It records things we've seen and heard that we may not even remember that we have seen and heard them. You have to be careful what you're putting into your brain. Be careful, little ears, what you hear. Be careful, little eyes, what you see. Be careful what you watch on the television, because it's telling you what to view. Be careful what you watch on YouTube. Be careful what you listen to in your podcast. Be careful the company that you keep, because all of this information is being put into your brain and it is creating programs. It is brainwashing you. You can choose to be brainwashed by everything else externally in the world, third dimensionally, or you can choose to be brainwashed by things that are spiritual and things that are divine. But the choice is yours. Your brain's going to be washed one way or the other. Your brain is going to come up with a program, and it is going to run a program one way or the other. Yes, tell-eye vision tells a whole lot of lies. Now, the shift that we're coming into, and I have some of my notes here. The moon in Scorpio creates the need to delve into your feelings as deep as possible. You're desiring meaningful emotional changes now more than any other time. And even if it's not easy, you're forced to change many things. Shallow relationships, shallow things, shallow entities will not satisfy you because they are not purifying enough. Hello, Tawanda. They're not purifying enough. When I read that at first, and I wrote that down at first, I said, well, what do you mean by purifying? Why is this purification? What is the point in talking about purification? And then it dawned on me. The need right now for us to rein in our emotions is so that every time something happens externally, our emotions aren't running amok. Why is that important? I just said, because an emotion evokes a thought. An emotion, a feeling towards something evokes a thought. The thought then evokes the program. The program puts you in motion. The program is what then manifests third dimensionally. If we do have no control over our thought and life and our mind, we have no control over what we manifest in our world. Hello, Brochet. We will do so. If we have no control over our emotional life, we have no control over our thought life. If we have no control over our thought life, we have no control over our manifestation in our lives. We are here to become master energetic and material manifestors and manipulators. There is a deep need and there is a deep download that is saying, I'm asking you to separate your thought life from your spirit for a moment. Separate your thought life from your spirit for a moment. I need you, this is what I'm hearing Spirit say, I need you to, instead of just allowing your thought life to run willy-nilly and run amok and not feel like you have any control over it, I need you to be the thinker of your thoughts rather than the reactor to them. I posted that on Instagram and I posted that on Facebook today and Twitter. I need you to be, Spirit is saying, I need you to be in control and the thinker of your thoughts rather than the reactor to them. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? The one that controls their mind is also in control of their emotions. So, when the offense happens, instead of immediately getting offended, and instead of immediately getting angry, looks at it and says, why am I even offended by this? Why does this even affect me? Now, you have two choices, depending upon where you're at this point. You could either look at this and say, it's not important, and let it dissipate. Because you understand you're in the matrix. You understand that you're in a third dimensional game. This is the game called humanity, and you chose to play it. It's not real. It's not real. It is temporal. You've been here before. You'll be here maybe again. if you choose to come back as a human again. It's temporal. It's not real. In fact, because I'm divine, because of my divinity, because of my eternal nature, because of the infinite amount of power and energy that I can choose to tap into, because of the infinite number of options I have for my life, I am choosing not to take offense to this. The moment I choose not to take offense to this, it dissipates. It no longer holds any power over you. You've now taken control over your thought. Because if you don't have any reason to be offended, you don't have any reason to invoke the program, do you? Instead, the program you're going to invoke is, I really feel bad. I feel sorry for you. But I got something to do over here. And this is more important. Oh, you called me a little fluffy. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little fluffy. What's your point? Right? Move on. So if you're at that point where you're really not deeply working into anything, where you're not going to allow this emotion to now hijack your brain, to hijack your manifestation ability, to hijack your mind. So now your mind is going, how the hell am I going to get this person back? Why? Why are you using all this energy for this? Control. If you're not at this other point, so the other point, I would typically say, I want you to look at it. I want you to sit with it. Hello, Tiba. How are you? Yes, I will open it up for questions, Tiba, in just a few moments. I'm almost done. I try not to teach for more than 30 minutes. Okay, Tiba, we'll answer that question a little bit after. I want to go through what we're going through right now, okay? I want to go through this right now. Well, I'm going to finish talking about this energetic shift. I'm not ignoring you. So, if you're at the point where you're saying, if you're at a point in your life where you're like, okay, this offended me. I'm ready to go back into my past and find out what this injury is so that I can heal it, so this never affects me again. That's one route. The other route is, if you're not quite there right then at that moment, or really maybe sometimes you don't have time to deal with it. The other route is, let's go over here and let's say, I'm not going to allow this. I am choosing to not allow it to overtake my brain. I'm choosing that. I get to choose my thoughts. Have you ever said, why in the world am I thinking about that? Because it's not you. It's your third dimensional you. It's the character you're playing. It's not the real you. We're getting this download to be able to identify what is our real thought and what's not. We're getting this download right now. My head has just been like, blah, 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 crazy for a little bit. We're getting this thought, right? This ability, right? To then say, my thoughts, I own my own thoughts. I have the right and the ability to own my own thoughts. Therefore, I am choosing to put food into my spirit. Therefore, I am choosing to put food into my eyes. Therefore, I am choosing, right, to put things in that are going to benefit me so that I can then manifest the chosen direction, the chosen outcome for my life. Your brain is such a powerful piece to the law of attraction. Your brain is a powerful tool in the manifestation process. As a man thinketh, so he is. Be the thinker. So is it uncomfortable because we're being asked to be spirit-led? Spirit-led. Hello, Jennifer. Right? Spirit-led. And if you're going to be spirit-led, that means spirit comes first, and then your mind, and then your body. I was joking with a friend. Do I still have third dimensional needs? Yes, I'm not dead. Okay? So I do operate in a third dimensional world. However, that is the last in the totem pole. Spirit, mind, body. The spirit, then the mind, then the body. So the spirit, my real and true self, has said, this is your life purpose. I now remember. This is the life purpose, so this is the life we're going to create. Mind, this is how you think of yourself. Mind, I want you to think of this being as a spiritual teacher, a spiritual mentor, yes, that travels the world, that comes on YouTube, that's on Facebook, that teaches and heals and mentors, all of these wonderful things. This is who you are. And uses crystals and oils and all these wonderful things to help people. That's who you are. So that's how I think of myself. I no longer think of myself in the framework of what I do on a daily 9-to-5 basis. I no longer think of myself as a woman that, even though I'm, the strong woman, right? That somehow absolutely has to have, be married and have this, white picket fence and the dog and the cat and all of that. No. I do not define myself as to by whether or not I have a relationship or not. I do not define myself, although my skin is melanated. And I have Native, yes, American, perhaps some African somewhere, a lot of Native in me. My definition, though, I don't allow the world anymore to define me as an African American woman or a melanated woman. That might be how you view me, but I am so much more than what your stereotype says that I am. Yes? I am not defined by the fact that I was a single mother. My children are not defined by the fact that they were raised by a single mother. There are all these social mores and all these things and all these definitions that have been put upon me, and I don't define myself as that any longer. I embrace my divine femininity as much as I embrace my divine masculinity. I embrace my divinity, and I embrace the power that comes with that. And I embrace the fact that I am a master manifester and energy manipulator. I embrace the fact that I'm a healer, an empath, a medium, a psychic, a clairvoyant, a clairaudient, telepathic from time to time. Not yet telekinetic, but that might be something I might pick up along the way. My point is this. The mind control shift is where we're at. It is about time that we truly separate spirit and mind and understand the thought before the thought is our real thoughts. The thought before the thought. The knowing. 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 So what you're being asked to do is know and not just think. You gotta know. And allow the knowing to wash over your mind so that it's in control, so that your spirit is in control of your mind. And then once this gets in alignment, the manifestation of your most excellent life becomes infinitely easier. Are you with me? So this is the shift. See, spirit realm lives in a whole nother dimension. It doesn't understand why do they think this way, because it just is. Do you see what I'm saying? It just is. I am. There is nothing else but I am. I am. I am. I am a teacher to many. I am a mentor to many. I'm a mother to most. Yes? I am a powerful being. And what I say must happen. But I also walk in integrity and truth. And I also understand that if I decree and declare a thing that is not in integrity and is not in truth and is not, that seeks to harm someone rather than help, I understand that the karma that comes back at me is not good. Separate your mind, control your mind. You control your destiny. Wash your mind, renew your mind with the washing of the word, your word, the word. Bring it into control. We are moving very quickly. I will say this and I'm going to close and I'm going to answer the very deep question that was there. We are moving very close to a fuller understanding and a manifestation of the I am consciousness in a way that humanity hasn't seen it recently. The I am consciousness, that's a very deep conversation. I cannot go into that right now. But the basis of the I am consciousness is I am, therefore it is. There is no, when someone says to me, oh my goodness, I can't believe you put together a conference in a few months. I am. Right? The I am consciousness is I am. I don't even understand how to explain it sometimes, because now there's never a concern about a bill being paid or anything like that. That's never a thought process. Hello, Turner. Hello, Vernell. The I am consciousness knows that whatever is said, whatever the energy is set into motion towards, whatever the frequency at which you are vibrating, it will come back. It has no choice. I am creator of my world. I am. Not I might be, not I could possibly be, but I am. We will get into that in a greater deal later. Okay. That's where we're going. That's why it hurts. That's where your head hurts. That's why everything hurts. It's like, oh my gosh, right? We're separating. We're learning to control our thoughts. Okay. I'm going to answer this question. I said I wasn't going to be on very long tonight. I don't think I'm going to do any readings, but if I do, I'll do it a little bit. Okay. So we'll open this up for questions now. There is a question here. And I'm going to answer this question. And if you have any other questions, I'll stay on for about another 20 minutes and answer. Okay. Okay, so Tiba, I have a question. A question that used to weigh on me a little less now, but I came in during this purging period, but I still wonder a bit. If we are both the light and the dark, why do we tend to escape the dark, especially in the spiritual community? If we go to the law of one, the dark isn't necessarily bad. Everything is one. However we view it, as the good, the bad is literally us. Now I think I get it, though after tuning into your lives, so the earth is what's ascending and we're in it, but that doesn't take away from the polarities. I completely agree. They exist. They still exist. We are just finding a new position of balance. Yes. So I guess you answered your own question, but I'm so glad you brought that up. Because too often in the spiritual community, I have heard many people say they dispel polarities, right? They're just like, there's no duality. There is no light. There is no dark. That's a bunch of bull, okay? Let's just be real. Light cannot exist without dark. Dark cannot exist without light. There is a reason for both. There is this reason for this experience. Now, I wished I could completely understand. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Rio. I will answer your question in just a moment, Lauren. I can't say, because I wasn't there at the beginning of it all, exactly why. But I feel as if that the reason for light and dark to exist is really for our lessons, right? If this is a simulation, if this is the Matrix, this is all for us to learn certain lessons. Now, some of us unplug and some of us ascend, and it is necessary that the vibrational set point of this earth, this realm, this third dimensional realm be raised. And that's why we are where we are right now. And that's why we're doing what we're doing right now. Those of us that are going through all these energetic shifts in 2019 and actually going through them, not playing the game, not playing footsie with it, not just dangling our toes in it, and then we go on back and do whatever the heck it was we were doing before. But I'm talking about those of us that are really putting in the work. Okay, we are really putting in the work. And we know that we have a grand purpose. Those of us that are putting in the work, we're being shown all these things so that we can be able to help others after us. You always have to have a structure, a leadership, and all of this. This is what 2019 is all about. Setting in place the leadership and the structure. Some people thought they were going to be part of that structure and that leadership. But it's your choice. It is your choice. Those that are supposed to be there will be there. Those that choose to be there will be there. Those that don't won't. It is what it is. It doesn't mean you're any less awakened. It just means that you didn't quite ascend or grow to the place that you were intended to grow. You will do it eventually. Or not. Now, so I do believe in polarities. I don't necessarily say that, why do we run from the dark? I'm a light worker. I don't work in the dark. I never have. That's not what I'm called to do. I have very good friends that are middle workers. And I do have some friends that I believe are shadow workers. We don't necessarily always see eye to eye, but it is what it is. Yes, that's what we're supposed to do, Gemini. We're really, every time we do this, we're supposed to learn something and we're supposed to grow. That's what we're supposed to do at the end of the day. Some of us at some point, hopefully, will, do it and do it the right way. And then we don't have to come back anymore as, this. Maybe I get to do something else the next lifetime. I don't know. But yes, there are polarities. I believe in them. It's just, I'm a light worker. I don't do dark. And I will tell you the reason why I don't necessarily embrace the dark, because too often people that really are operating in the dark, they're hurting and they're in pain and they can't get out. You have a choice with the light. You can either do it or not. There's always a choice. Your free will is much more activated, and much more prevalent and easily accessible in the light. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, let me go up here. Guys, you can schedule personal readings with me. You can also schedule Reiki sessions with me or energy clearing sessions with me as well on my website. Lauren Craig says, how do you know the difference between intuition and fear and overthinking? I don't necessarily operate in fear anymore. So, first of all, operating in fear is operating out of your lower chakras. So there's a reason why you're still, there's still that fear. I'm not saying I never get afraid. I don't want to oversimplify that. And intuition is just a knowing. It is not, what is the word? Fear can be irrational. So if a fear is like a paralyzing, irrational thing, right? Overthinking is irrational and it paralyzes you. When I know something, I know it here. When I fear something, I feel it here. That might be the easiest way to think about it. When I know something, I know it here, or I know it third eye, I just know it. But I know it from my upper chakras. When I fear in my lower chakras, because that is a lower vibrational frequency. That would be the easiest way to tell. Okay. So Gemini Love asks, how do I find balance between ego and spirit? Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know that there is a balance. The ego is the enemy of the spirit. Between ego and spirit. When I say things like I am an international teacher, I am an international speaker, I am an international mentor and Reiki master and energy healer, I am an author, I have a beautiful and charmed and successful life, wanting for nothing, I am peace, nothing missing, nothing broken. I don't say any of that out of ego. It is. Again, if you're operating out of ego, you are operating out of your lower chakras. When you are operating spiritually, you are operating from your higher chakras. The reason you feel vulnerable is because your ego has been used to protecting you all this time. And instead, your spirit man is really the one that can offer the protection, if you will. In actuality, you don't need protection. Once you're living a healed, a peaceful, right? Nothing missing, nothing broken, spirit-led life, there's nothing to fear any longer. So ego is protecting you to try to keep you from harm. Hello, Shantae. We missed you as well. That's right, Tawanda, they're not functioning properly. However I go and it gets to me. If my ego is hurt, I want instant revenge. Well, and that's exactly what we were talking about today, right? That's your program. So why is it offending you? Why does your ego get bruised? Why do you need the validation of others? Because you haven't yet validated yourself fully. When you validate yourself and love yourself fully, you don't need the validation of others. Believe me, you don't. Clarence, you've been overthinking, trying to tell in my mind. When something comes up in my mind, I say I'm in control of my mind, not the voice. I don't know if I'm showing progress. Don't overthink it, right? Don't overthink it, honey. Examine the thought that comes in your mind. Just examine it outside of, literally just sit with it and see if it rings true. If the thought that's come to your mind, my dear, doesn't ring true in your heart, if when you sit with it, it doesn't ring true, and you'll know, then that's a thought that does not necessarily need it. And it's almost it becomes an unconscious thing. At first, when the thought comes up and you don't want to think it, you're like, I don't want to think this thought. I don't want to think that thought. And then switch your thought to something else. I want to think about rainbows and puppies. Right? I don't want to think this thought. Nope, that's not true. Don't fight it, because the more you fight it, the longer you're going to hold on to it. But just, that's not true. And pretty soon it just becomes a thing. It's really weird, because even when I get ready to come on, like I got ready to come on tonight, I knew what I needed to talk about because, Miss Mona and I had talked about it earlier today. And then I posted it. And then someone else texted me. And I'm like, I better get on and talk about it. I had no idea what I was going to say. Everything that has just spewed from my mouth is spirit. That's it. The brain doesn't even engage. So that's why I get thrown off sometimes if I'm reading the chat, because I'm engaging my brain. I bypass it now so effortlessly. I just bypass it because it's not it when I need it. Okay, we're gonna use you now. But the thoughts when they come up, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to think that, and let it go. Should we try to find balance between the lower and higher chakras? I don't know how to answer that question. It's a process, Clarence. You're doing really well, though. It's a process. A balance between lower and upper chakras. You need your lower chakras, of course, to interact with the third dimensional world. And so the energetic flow is just that, an energetic flow. Neither upper nor lower should be more developed per se. The balance usually becomes in staying rooted and grounded, while at the same time operating from a higher level, in a higher dimension. I'm here because I'm supposed to be here, and I'm here because I choose to be here. I'm having this experience because I choose to. I chose it a while ago. I suppose balance, yes. The reason why I find so much danger in that word balance is because I feel like a lot of times people then negate or suppress the power of your upper chakras in order to remain in balance. But not everyone is also meant to be up in the higher stratosphere a lot. So yes, I suppose the long answer to the short question is yes, there's a balance. But it's really more of an equal development and an even flow of energy. I'm so glad Spirit got you here tonight, Shantae. Fear, yes. And you need to see why you're feeling the fear. Where did that program get put into your brain? Where did that program get set into your energy field and get rid of it? Why do we attract narcissistic persons, even if for your life, if we've done the work? Because you're always, I don't attract them anymore. Or if they do, they come around, they don't stay long. You're going to attract them because you're grade A. You got a light about you. You're going to attract them. They are attracted to good energy. You're grade A supply if they can chomp their teeth into your neck. But they don't stay long. The key is, are you keeping them around? Because if you're keeping them around, then you still have a little bit more work to do. If you no longer allow yourself, basically this is the thing. When the narcissists come around me now, I no longer have my neck like this, just wide open, waiting for you to just suck the life out of me. No, it's probably a lot of garlic. You can't get that, because I already know what you're trying to do. You're trying to glom on to me. You're trying to entangle yourself in me. You're trying to get my neck. And because my aura is round and full, there's nothing for you to hold on to. So they lose. And I'm just like, I'm not giving you any of that. Like, you don't get that power over me. Because I no longer need what you're giving me. I no longer need you to attempt to try to validate me. There have been times, okay, Rio, there have been times when I felt like I've had something that I don't yet have. But there was a bill I needed to pay, yep, and I felt like I had a stash of money in an account I forgot about. And did it manifest for you or put in a place that I forgot about? What is that feeling? Let me tell you, honey, sometimes what'll happen is there'll be things, I believe that there are alternate universes that are all working at the same time. Now, I don't know if y'all saw Avengers. Did y'all see Avengers? Okay, so there are alternate universes that are all operating at the same time. So I believe when you see that or you feel that it's in a different universe, you got to bring it to you. It's in a different time continuum. You got to bring it in. So you know it's there. So now it's time to manifest it into this one and bring it here to you. Keep vibrating at that frequency, because pretty soon what's going to happen is that money going to show up in that stash. That money's going to show up in your mailbox like it did for me. Okay, last September and October. It's going to show up. It'll just be there. You know? So keep vibrating at that and keep seeking that. I believe they're in different time space continuum. And then sometimes I think my angels think it's funny to move stuff, even though I set it down in a spot and then I come back and it's gone. I think they used to enjoy playing that game of hide and seek with me. And so I've just asked them, could you please bring it back? Please, thank you. I mean, it would have just been there. And everything else is the same, but the time space continue. So it's there. So Spirit is showing you it's there. So now you got to go get it. Yes, Jason, chakras do need balance and wellness. The reason why I hesitated at answering that question, though, is because some people seek to balance. In seeking the balance, they really end up coming out of balance. So yes, they need to be balanced. Yes, when I see someone's aura and I see their heart chakra is so huge, but their root chakra is just not doing well, then I know we've got work to do down in the lower chakras, that we've ignored them, that there's this bottleneck here. There's usually injury here in the heart chakra that keeps the energy from flowing. Yeah. So they do need balance, and they do need to be healed, and they do need to be well. And we shouldn't ignore one for the other. But at the same time, though, when we're going through these energetic shifts like this is meant for your higher chakras to grow. Hopefully, you're at a point where where universal life energy is flowing through you well, so that even as your upper chakras are developing, your lower chakras are developing at the same time. Okay. Do I recommend working on one chakra at a time or a couple? And if so, what order? I cannot give you that recommendation. I'm sorry, Gemini love. When I help people with their chakra healing, it is it's like asking, it's like telling, like I'm a doctor and you're telling me that you have a fever, a bad cough, and you're short of breath. So what should I work on first? So I could prescribe the breathing treatment for you and open up your lungs. So you'll be able to breathe, but I've done nothing to get rid of the infection that caused it at first. Healers like myself will be with you, and we'll work on what we're led to work on first. And I can't say for sure, unless I'm working with you, which one goes first. Because for one person, I will work on their root chakra because of things that happened to them in their childhood or previous lives. For another person, I'll have to work on their third eye because they can't see. And if they can't see, I can't help. We can't direct them in any direction they're supposed to go. Even if their root chakra is still injured. The main thing at that moment is sight. So I wish I could answer. What I will say is, if you're working on them by yourself and you're not coming to someone like myself, I would say just ask for what are we working on today, and Spirit will lead you. But if you get stuck, then schedule some time with myself or another energy healer. How do you release the subconscious ego? Wow. Oh my gosh. That's a deep one, Shantae. I have been trying to find out why and how to get rid of it. Oh, the subconscious ego. There is a level of ego that's always going to be there, right? Because it's just part of who we are as human beings. If you mean, and I guess I need to understand a little bit better, Shantae, what you mean by subconscious ego, so I can answer that question. There are thoughts that pop out sometimes that I'm like, where did that come from? I said something today to Sage, the brain, to Miss Mona. I said something, it just popped out of my mouth, and I don't even know where in the world that came from. And I surprised myself. All of a sudden, I was like, she was like, what? What did you just say? And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm going to have to go back and look and see why that thought, that emotion, or that statement even welled up out of my spirit. So I need you to explain to me a little bit what you mean by subconscious ego, then I can answer that question a little bit better. How do you get rid of whom, Gemini? I'm excited for what Spirit's bringing you now, Clarence. I mean, a few years will be crazy. Got the computer and a check. Yeah, I got 2 checks. So I basically got the computer. Yeah, with free money. I did. That's right. I forgot about that. Focus is a little hard for me, so I really need to buckle down and work on refining the skill. Meditation, honey. Meditation is going to help you with focus all day, every day, twice on Sundays. There's I have a playlist, 7-day meditation challenge. Go to that playlist, do the 7 days, get in the habit. Replay it every week if you have to. Meditation will help. So you mean fear? Would it really be the ego as it's subconscious? Okay, so you're talking about how do you release deep-seated fear? Wow, okay. So when I'm helping people release deep-seated fear, we're really then going into stop, Raina. We're going into then I typically look for Shantae, I'm picking up that there was injuries. There was I see a lot of yelling. I hear a lot of screaming. I see a lot of scurrying around. It's mayhem. It's like chaos. And fear is like gripping everybody in this space. And I'm seeing this play out actually in 2 or 3 different times. I'm seeing it as a child, and I don't know that everybody was scurrying so much as a child, but it's like I see a family like trying to get everything together before dad comes home, or before the male figure of the house comes home. Because if everything wasn't right, it just, oh my gosh. Okay. So that's a level of fear, my dear. That level of fear, unfortunately, you've known in other lifetimes as well. It's played out differently, but it's been that same basic fear. So when we're going and healing that type of wound, and it's like that line, that lineage of fear and fear-mongering has existed in your family generationally for a long time. Great, three greats back, grandmother made a deal, asked she wasn't a shaman, but she was like a priestess in her village, and she wanted desperately to get married, and she didn't care who, how, what had happened, but she wanted to be married, and she wanted to be married wealthy, and she wanted children. And there was like this ritual that was done, and she did get the husband. This is great. This is on your father's side. No. Yeah, your father's side. And the husband that then she did end up getting the husband, but he was very cruel to her. But she had everything else she wanted. She wanted the money, she wanted the status, she wanted children. And that has been handed down generation after generation. So then we come to your generation, okay? And I see all this. It's just chaos. So to get rid of that, to heal that, I would go in and we would sit with that. And we'd allow that to come up, that memory, those memories to come up. Because as a child, right, you couldn't do anything about that. And now as an adult, we have to heal that childhood memory so that we can see as the adult, Shantae, it can't hurt you. That memory that pain is no longer real. And you are allowed to be angry, and you are allowed to be upset, and you are allowed to be hurt, but you have to learn to trust yourself again, to dispel the fear, and love yourself to dispel the fear. It's a very high level way but that's an energetic healing that needs to happen. Why are you sorry? Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Yeah, I'm a billionaire. Can you, Shantae, I need you to schedule some time with me so we can break these cords, okay? So we can break the ancestral curse. You're welcome, Tiba. You guys, and if you want to support, oh no, I'm not frustrated. When that happens, Shantae, and everybody, when that happens, and I really get transported into that realm, I'm not frustrated at all. You guys, PayPal, Cash App, and Super Chat to help support the channel. But Shantae, please reach out to me so we can schedule some time. How do I get rid of my narcissistic ex? He keeps on coming back. I can't. Well, because you said you can't. And Shantae, do you live anywhere near Atlanta at all? Or do you live anywhere near Wisconsin? Gemini love, do you have children? Hey Alice, do you have children, Gemini? And we're gonna just wrap this up, guys, and I need to get going. Yes, where do you live? Which one? Closer to Atlanta or closer to Wisconsin? Oh, Dallas. You're in Dallas. Okay. I was hoping I could see you. Okay, schedule something with me, okay? Gemini, do you have children with them? With the narcissist? Is it bad to choose money over love or not to choose but care? Atlanta's 14 hours. Baby, I don't know if you can get... Oh, that's a ways away. That's a drive. I would love for you to be able to come for this weekend. I love San Antonio. I love Dallas too. Maybe that's why I'm going to come next. Y'all Dallas and y'all Texan folks, figure out where I should go. I'll come down there in a couple of months and attune some of y'all. Siri, hello baby, how you doing? Okay, Gemini love, then you got to choose whether or not you want to get rid of him. You need to schedule some time with me as well, because there's still something that is serving you. There's still something in this relationship back and forth with him that's serving you. Schedule some time with me, or y'all, we're going to start having some toxic relationship and toxic energy healing sessions. Okay. All right. I got to go, y'all. I'm starting to wander. Houston or Austin would be good. I'm doing very well. I miss you, girl. Gosh, I miss all my people. Miss my peeps. I miss y'all. I've never been to Austin. Okay, so you schedule some time with me as well. Okay? And we'll get it out. All right, y'all. I got to bounce. I have some things I have to take care of. I hope this helped, guys. I may download it and I may just put it up as the teaching part, and then we'll leave the questions. Y'all could go back and look at them. Excuse me. Please go to my website, heartofinspiration.net, to schedule some time with me for energy healing. Okay, we'll start looking at y'all start giving me hotels to go to. I will be back. I'm not gonna lie. Look for me maybe tomorrow night to do some readings, okay? Perhaps I will try to do it before I go to Atlanta. Guys, thank you. Thank you so very much. Don't forget, once this is uploaded, please leave comments so you can get entered into the drawing. Please share this video. Like, let's get a bunch of likes and things on this video, because I want people to start, seeing it. I want to trigger the algorithm, okay? So please share this video with anyone you can think of. And I appreciate your subscription, and I appreciate your support. And anybody, we still have, I think, one more spot left now for Atlanta, Georgia. So go to heartofinspiration.net if you wish to get attuned to become a Reiki healer, okay? Thank you guys so much. I so very much appreciate you. Thank you, Team Blue. I appreciate you all. I love everybody. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you. Namaste, my friends. Bye-bye.